Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and back to my series Cravings, where I share with you recipes that you can easily recreate at home. And in this episode, I am making the ultimate flapjacks. Now, whilst I'm not craving something particular and just kind of sweet things in general, something about flapjacks that when I decided to make these, and I actually did a couple of weeks ago, I was just all for it. They are so simple and yet so good, so chewy and really hitting that sweet spot. So I thought, why not include it in my series? Now I love this recipe so much because you can make them and just keep them in an airtight container. They last for a week, even 2 weeks, because it's mainly just sugar and oats, and enjoy them throughout those days and just have that something sweet. So let's get straight into the recipe. So this is one of the easiest recipes to put together. I'm going to start off with butter in a pan, and I'm going to add some brown sugar and some golden syrup. The reason why I like using dark brown sugar is because it doesn't make the flapjacks too sweet. If you use a white sugar, they're going to be a lot sweeter. And now this is going to heat up on a low heat until it's all melted and come together. So now that's all melted together, I can just prepare the oats. Now you can just leave them plain, but I love cinnamon, so I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon to this. And half a teaspoon of salt. I love salt in this recipe. It works so well against the sweetness of the flapjacks. Just give that a quick mix. And now I can add the melted sugar, butter, and syrup into the oats. Now I'm going to mix it until all those oats are coated in that delicious melted butter and syrup. So here I've greased and lined an 18cm square baking tin. You can actually bake these in pretty much any shaped tin, whether it's circular or even a more shallow tray. It just will affect the baking times, which I'll get to. But what I'm going to do is just spoon in all of the oats. Push them as much as possible to the corners of the tin. And then use a palette knife to make it as flat and even as possible. And the trick here is to try and compress it as much as possible, because that will help keep the flapjacks together once they're baked and cut. Now this is going to bake in the oven at 180 degrees for about 20 minutes until the outside edges are a darker golden brown. So this is what the flapjacks look like when they've come out the oven. So you can see that they have darkened in color, especially around the edges. Now I've left this to cool for a couple of hours, so now they're completely set, so I can now take them out the tin. And remove the paper. And you can see how set they are because they actually are one solid block. And as tempting as it is to bite into this, I'm going to cut it into bite-sized pieces. So just with a sharp knife, I can now cut them into squares. You can hear the crispiness as well. Still nice and chewy in the inside. Let's have a look at what they look like on the inside. Oh, perfection. I'm already salivating just looking at the flapjacks. I also think it's really satisfying how easily and beautifully they cut. I've cut them into classic bite-sized squares, but you can cut them into triangles or fingers, whatever you want. But I'm gonna get right into one because I can't wait any longer. Wow. Wow, I got a bit of salt in that bite as well. It just does the perfect balance. And it just satisfies my craving for something sweet so much. And just one of these a day is a perfect amount. You should definitely try these out. They're super easy, fun to do with kids. So don't forget, the recipe is below in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment with any recipes that you may want to see. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you very soon.